driving test in Nuneaton on the 2nd of July 2025. We're on Vernon's Lane and we're just moving away from the driving test centre here. You can see that she just gave way to an oncoming vehicle there, which is already brilliant.
After 200 yards, bear right, then turn left.
So in the car is Sally Satnav, as we can hear, and also Dashcam. It's giving us the pictures, the examiner, and Sarah, who's taking a test. And like I say, she has passed. It's her first test, so she's done extremely well, actually. So it's a brilliant test. Now, in this test, you're going to see there'll be an emergency stop. There'll be a forward bay park. Obviously, there'll be a hill start and an angled start as well, just as there always is. And this test route takes you out onto the lanes. So it doesn't go around the Griff Island. It's one of the few that doesn't. But it does go around the lanes, so there'll be lots of very quick driving in the countryside. Anyway, we're on Beaumont Road, aren't we? And we're going to be turning left onto Countess Road. And Sally Satnav is about to tell us that. Again, she's just eased back. Just ease back a little bit. And as we get around this corner, you will see that there's an orange car. And Sarah does a brilliant thing here where she holds back to make progress. So the orange car is moving out. Sarah can see it's not a big space. She slows down and now she's making progress.
At the end of the road, turn right. Then at the end of the road, turn right.
So that's like a cheat code, isn't it, that?
Turn right. Then at the end of the road, turn right.
So that's brilliant planning. And this is brilliant approach to this junction as well. She's seen that it is clear and she's moving on. And you'll notice as well that the sat-nav is giving multiple directions, so 2 at a time.
Turn right, then cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
And that's a clue, isn't it? That's to tell us that actually the 2 junctions are going to be quite close to each other. There's not going to be a lot of time between the 2. And so you can use that, can't you? So it's like an heads up, really. And actually, if it wasn't the sat-nav saying that, sometimes the examiners say a similar thing. So they'll give 2 directions out, which again is a clue, isn't it? You can use that, can't you, as a clue to say, well, do you know what? I think if I turn right here, the second right's going to be quite close as well. The car in front is having to wait at the line, isn't it? And that's fine as well. You can see that the road we're turning onto here, Manor Court Road, is quite busy. And so the one in front is having to wait. So there's absolutely no problem with that. You must always remember that when you come to the end of the road like this, if it's not clear, there is no time limit for how long you should wait here. There's no time limit. What you should do is you should get to a position where you can see, which is what Sarah has done, and then you should wait for a space that you feel is comfortable for you to move out into. If you wait for a comfortable space, then you know what, you won't rush and then you won't stall, and that means that's one fault that you're not going to get. So you can look at it that way. Also, the safest thing is to wait for a space that you know that you can move into. So everything about this is good, isn't it? Even though it seems like a long time. Somebody's sneezing there, so bless you, whoever that is, which one ever that was. And so now she's waiting for a space and then she's going to move out. And it could take a few minutes, it could take a few seconds, but it absolutely doesn't matter. So let's see. Is she going to move out yet? Obviously the road is too busy. She will move out in a few seconds. Come on, Sarah. You'll never hear me say that, by the way, on the lessons. I do have some students that come up to this particular junction, moving out onto Manor Court Road, when they're kind of new to it, and they're saying, oh, you know, there's people behind us, there's a bit of a queue, I'm holding people up, I've got to move out. That's the wrong way to think about it. The correct way is what Sarah's done, is wait for a space and then move out. absolutely fine, no problem there. So
cross the roundabout and take the second exit, then take the second right.
So second exit and second right. So we know second exit here means straight ahead, doesn't it? And the second right, when she's got off of this roundabout, the second right will be Tomkinson Road. And that's by the newsagents there, isn't it? So you just go over the bridge and then turn right by the newsagents. In the centre of the road, you're going to see a safety lane, a right turn lane. And you see the one in front is just moved directly into that, and that's quite wise. He's actually gone over the
turn right, then turn
hatch
left.
lines, which Sarah hasn't done, but she's moved directly in, which is fantastic. I have noticed
turn right, then turn left.
that if you don't move directly into that, it can be where people will try and get around and overtake you just because you're a learner. So you must kind of claim the space really there. So now we're on Tomkinson Road. We know this is a 20 zone, and this 20 zone is going to last for a little while. So the sat-nav has asked Sarah to turn left, and there's a left turn.
100 yards, turn left.
There's a left junction there, which you can't go down. So obviously it doesn't mean that one. So therefore it must mean the next one.
Turn left.
And here she is. So she's just going to come up here off Tomkinson Road and turn left, and this is going to be Granby Street. Now Granby Street here, I've seen examiners use this for parallel park, for parking on the right hand side and reversing back a bit. I've seen them use it for emergency stops, but today the examiner is going to use it for an angled start, and it's on a hill. So it's like an angled start on a hill. So there you go, double whammy. There'll be a hill start again later, by the way. But she's just pulling up just behind this Mazda. And I have seen people use this Mazda for a parallel park as well. But she's pulled up behind here. And the examiner's now saying, drive on when you're ready. What Sarah's going to do, obviously, she's going to wait for the road to get ready. She's going to wait for the road to clear. And then she's going to move on. She's already indicating, so she thinks perhaps behind it's clear, but is it clear ahead? Let's just see. It needs to be clear both ways, doesn't it? Because of that blue car that's parked on the opposite side of the road. So there's not going to be any space to get out. So she's quite wisely waited for this oncoming vehicle to go through. And then she's going to move on. You'll see a tiny rollback here, but not one enough, I think, to get a fault. Tiny rollback, there it is. Not enough of a one to get a fault. Obviously, there's speed bumps on this road as well. We're still in a 20 zone, by the way, on Granby Street, even though there's no road signs, which is always helpful, isn't it?
At the end of the road, turn left, then at the end of the road, turn right.
It's always helpful to have a 20-mile-an-hour road with no road signs to tell you, but there it is. You know, just one of the many things that we have to deal with, I suppose, in life. Anyway, she's going to go left and then right. So again,
turn left, then at the end of the road, turn right.
So again, two directions there to come on to. So she's coming up to the end of this road, and you can see there's a little bit of a queue to the right there, and then she's going to move out there. She'll move out again. She's going to wait for a space that she's comfortable with, and then she moves out into it. And this brings us on to Northumberland Avenue, as we know, and this is still a 20-mile-an-hour zone. And actually, you can see it written on the road. Once this blue car moves on, we will see that. And so she's in a traffic queue. And so what she's doing is she's keeping a good distance from the car ahead, which is ideal. And she's going to move up with the traffic, and each time she comes to a stop, she'll keep that distance between her and the blue car in front of her. So she's absolutely playing a blinder today, Sarah. Well done, matey. You've done brilliantly well. And so we're coming up near to the end of the junction.
Turn right.
And this queue would suggest that it's not going to be straightforward getting out onto this next road either, is it? you know, so you watch the blue cars had to wait a little bit. Sarah stopped this side of the speed bump, which people use for a crossing, don't they? So that's probably quite wise as well. Let's see when the blue car moves on and see if Sarah loses her nerve and moves onto the speed bump before it moves. Because that's actually quite a big distance, isn't it, if there's a speed bump there? But no, she's kept her nerve. Well done, matey. she's just getting everything right, which is brilliant, isn't it? So now she's going to move on to, this is going to, I think this is called Croft Road. You'll see it on the bottom of the screen anyway. And she's going to move on to Croft Road. But again, it's a right turn onto a main road, so she will have to wait. And guess what? It's fine. It's fine. Wait for a space and then move into it. So that's all she's doing here. Obviously, we can see there's another safety lane in the centre there where people are using that to turn right as well. And away she goes. You'll hear the background noise die away a little bit here because the examiner's going to ask her to show me how you would open and close the side window, and she'll do that, and then the background noise will kick back in. Then not allowed to publish the conversation between the two. But anyway, this is quite a long road, this Croft Road, and we're going to be on it for quite some time as well, because it does take us up to the lanes, doesn't it? It takes us up there. As we come around, we know there's a roundabout ahead of us. So there's a white car.
Yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
And again, Sarah's deemed that space to be big enough, which it is, to get through. And there's a roundabout ahead, isn't there? Where I always call this the yellow shop. It's kind of like a window place or something like that. Is it windows or bathrooms or something?
And take the second exit.
Anyway, she's got to cross the roundabout to take the second exit. Now she's easing up to the back of the van because she wants to keep a view of what's ahead of the van, which again is quite wise, isn't it? Anyway, she couldn't do that forever because, you know, she would take up too much of the road. The van's moving on now. And now, if you look to the right, can you see there's a white truck? So what Sarah's doing, she's just holding off to see where that white truck goes, because it is going quite slow. But that's actually the ones behind, even though the red car's not indicating, they've all gone right. So it's a good job she waited there. It's a good job she had that little bit of caution. And now she's got an absolute space that she can use. So again, just by being a bit unsure about where the white van was going to go, it meant that she kind of, you know, life gave her a little bit of a leg up there, really, and she was able to wait for the rest of them. There's quite a few crossings along this road, as we know, and Sarah's approaching this crossing in a way where she thinks, right, well, if I go slow enough now, I know the lights will change. It's only a crossing. They're not on red for very long. And actually, she did stop, but she did try and time that. And it's always wise to do that as well, isn't it? You know, if it's a crossing and they go red and you're a little way back, then you can time your approach. And very often, you won't need to stop at all. You can just drop it into a lower gear and go through because the lights will have gone back to green. As we come along here, we can see that the road is going to narrow up a bit because of the parked cars as well. So there is a thing called shaving vehicles, and that's where you get too close to the parked cars. So you can see Sarah's keeping a nice distance. She's kind of equidistant from the oncoming traffic and the parked cars, and then she's going to move back in. So she's positioned the car very, 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 very well there. And here again, she's just slowing down, allowing this grey van to move over. And so her forward planning today is exemplary, and that's, you know, it can't be faulted. And forward planning is your test. Everything else you do is all about, you know, if you're in the correct gear, the correct speed, the correct position on the road, everything you're approaching, whatever, it's all about your planning ahead. If you can get that right, then you are 9 parts of the way there. Here's where she's going to make a fault though, and if you look, there's like a slip road for this junction, and she's not gone in it.
Turn left.
And she only goes in it at the last moment there. So if that slip road, you know, that's the thing, isn't it? Again, someone running across the road. That slip road there into Astley Lane, you know, do use it. It's there, so do use it. That's what it's there for, so that you can move in, you get out of the way of the traffic on the main road. So do use it. And here we are. I've heard this section, this area of Nuneaton called the Lanes. People tell me that's what it's called. So why do they bring you out here? Well, they've had you know, memos after memos really about, you know, when they're setting up the test routes, is to include some roads like this. So if you're in a kind of rural place, then it's not really a rural place, but it's, you know, you're always quite close to the countryside, then you can expect to be on roads like this during your test. And the reason for that is, you know, quite a grim one, in that this is where most of the fatal accidents happen. You know, so it's a quick road. It's a 50-mile-an-hour road. Sarah's absolutely getting up to the speed of the road, so no problem there. But there's also lots of bends, and so you'll see in a few moments, in particular, you'll see her just ease off a little bit as she goes around this next bend. So she's just coming up to this one. Car slows down a little bit. She gets through, and then she accelerates away. And that is to keep the car flat on the road. So you approach it with a little bit of caution, the bend, a little bit of caution, then get through the bend and then accelerate away from it. That helps, all of that helps the steering. So this is where most of the fatal accidents happen, because they're quick roads, they're bendy roads, they're not extremely wide roads either, but there's trees. And if you hit one of those trees, it ain't going anywhere. It's, you know, you're going to be stopped dead at the trees, and you'll very often see kind of tributes, won't you, on trees in the countryside where people have come a cropper. So that's why the driving test includes, or tries to, as much as they can, includes country roads like this.
After 400 yards, turn right.
Because their idea is then that if they include these roads, then people like me will try and teach people how to drive on them correctly, and that'll reduce the number of fatal accidents. We have come into a 30 zone. This right turn here, some people get this wrong as well.
Turn right.
We have the priority from here, and the kind of people would say the right of way. And even though there's two cars waiting, we can go through, and Sarah has done that, so that's fine. This turns you into Nuthurst Lane, and for the first section of it, it is a 30 road as well, but then it goes to 50 a bit later. Now when it does go to 50, it also goes quite straight. So having said all of that about this is really where the danger is for people. It does go to 50, and now you've got to show that you're confident enough to get up to that speed, because it's straight. There's absolutely no reason here why you can't. There's nothing in front of us. There's no bends in the road. There's absolutely no reason why you can't get up to the speed of the road, which is a 50-mile-an-hour road. And you can see we are absolutely motoring along here, aren't we? So again, this is fantastic. She's keeping it up, and you'll get to this bit here where the sign will tell us there's a double bend. There's actually more than a double bend, but anyway, there's a double bend, and now you'll see and it says slow, and there's the chevrons, and you'll see the car just ease off. There you go, it's just eased off a little bit. We've just gone a little bit slower on the bend, and there's another bend coming up, and again she's eased off, big tree next to it, and she's eased off the bend there, and then it goes straight again, and you'll see her accelerate away from that bend, and that is perfect. So on your way in, ease off, brake if you
turn
need to,
left, then go
get
right on the
around the
roundabout
bend
and take the third exit.
and then accelerate away. And that is brilliant. So well done, Sarah. And that's all to do with the steering, isn't it? It keeps the car flat on the road. And we're going to go left at the end of this road, as Sally Satnav said. And we'll
turn left, then go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
And we'll be coming up to a, when we've turned left here, then we'll be coming up to a roundabout. Just got straight out onto that one. Obviously this road is clear, and we can see the sign there for the third exit.
After 100 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
There you go. So
go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
Sally wants to get in on it, doesn't she? Anyway, we're following this roundabout around. This the first exit. The second exit is here, and the third exit takes us towards this road. I'm sure it says Galley Common or something like that. Yes, it does, Galley Common down there. This is Tunnel Road. At this end of it, it's a 30 zone because there's a few houses along here, and there's a parked car, and we've gone round the parked car quite nicely. And as we come back out into the countryside here, again you can see it says 50, but this is different, isn't it? Because this bit is a little more narrow, it's a bit more bendy, and we're going to go down quite a sharp hill, and we'll go down a sharp hill into a bend as well. Also, can you see the hedges are right on the road there? So you're right next to the hedges. So this road, it would be absolute, nonsense to be doing 50. And you see that she's coming down this hill into this bend. We've slowed down a little bit there. She's actually matching the speed of the car ahead of us. So she's not the only one that's being a little bit cautious here, and it's quite wise to do that along this road. So anyway, as we come through here, we'll see again that it was going to drop back down to a 30 zone, and you can see the car has slowed down as well. And there's going to be lots of parked cars. Some of them will be far enough in on the curb for us to get by if there's any oncoming traffic, and some of them we will have to wait
After
for.
300 yards, bear left, then you have reached your destination.
Just because of the width of the road. It kind of goes in and out and in and out. It's not really the same width the whole way along. And ahead of us you can see that people are just waiting. There must be some oncoming traffic, and they're just slowed down just to let them through. Maybe that's it. Is it to do with the bus as well? Might be. There you go. And you see where Sarah's waited there? She's waited on our side of the road. She's waiting for she can see the road is clearing ahead, so then she's making progress. That is perfect.
Then you have reached your destination.
And again, that's forward planning, isn't it? That's looking ahead, seeing what's there, and then planning what you're going to do, and then, being sensible with that. It's absolutely brilliant. The sat-nav is going to say that we're going to come to the end of to reach your destination, and that then the examiner will take over in terms of directions. First of all, this is where the hill start is, obviously. This is quite the hill, actually. It's difficult to tell, isn't it, from the videos, the kind of gradient of these roads, but this is quite the hill. You would need good calves if you lived on this road. Anyway, let's see what she does rolling back wise. No, fine. There. So that wasn't it, was it? I did say at the start there'll be a fault where she rolls back. She did roll back a little bit before, but not too much.
After 100 yards, you have reached your destination.
And so now, the sat-nav there, that was 24 minutes and 17 seconds of the test. So people have often asked me how long, if they do the sat-nav on the test, how long will it be? And that's north of 20 minutes, isn't it? So that's a good guide, and that's how it would normally be. It's 20 minutes ish, but it's usually a bit more. So we're coming to the top of this hill, and again the noise at the back of in the background has gone because now the examiner is giving directions. or will give directions when we get to the end here. Obviously you can see this light's on green is a car that we need to just be aware of. Yeah, we've got around there, no problem. This is quite a long road, and again it's one of those where there's periodically cars parked, and also you may need to give way, you may need to wait, hold back, and then it could be that you'll be able to go through. It does say slow on the road, and now we have a temporary light. Oh, hey up. He wasn't waiting. Nothing temporary about that silver car there, was there? He's going through. Anyway, well, that's up to him, isn't it? There you go. So we'll have to wait here for the temporary lights to change back to green, which won't take long. It does say on there that it's a three-way one, but this is just a little bit of a wait. You can see that Sarah's the first car, the lead car. And what it's important to do when the lights do go to green and you do move out from this place, from this situation, is to check in that right hand door mirror before you move. In particular, you can look over your shoulder as a little bonus, but you must check in that right hand door mirror before you move out, because we see why, don't we, that silver car just shot through. And obviously she's done that because we know that she's passed, and away we go. Now we're just following the road here. Like I say, it's quite a long road. You can see there's quite a few cars being held up by the temporary lights there as well. Still says slow on the road. The road surface along this road, by the way, is absolutely appalling. Someone should write to the council, not that that will make any difference, but there you go. It is absolutely appalling. On this side of the road, it's better than it is on the opposite side of the road as well. So those other people, their suspension is really having to work hard for them. We're coming now, we're at the top of this slope and we're coming down the hill now. And again, this is quite the hill here. It's quite the downhill. We're coming down the hill into a bend, and you can see she's just eased off a little bit. You see that the picture is jumping about a bit. That's the road surface. It is appalling. Around this next bend, there's usually a few parked cars, and you don't see them till quite late. So we'll get around. There is one there, okay, and there is something oncoming, but she's kind of said, well, I can get into this space, I'll then move over and let them through, and that way I won't make them slow down. And this here is where she's going to turn right at the end of this road. I've put left there, so ignore that. It's a right turn, but she's going to roll back a little bit. This is very much a hill start, and because of the busyness of the road and everything, it's easy to kind of miss that bit, to forget that bit, and to roll back. And you'll see her roll back a little bit here, but she does control it. And so people ask me again, if you roll back like that, does that mean you failed? And it all depends on the amount of control you have, and also really what's behind you, if there's a queue, and really how far behind you they are. So if you did control it like she did there, and if you didn't cause them any problems, then it's a fault, but it's a minor fault. If the people behind you kind of held their hand up in surprise, just did that, then obviously you would have failed. But no, she has passed, and this is fine. So this is Coleshill Road, Coleshill or Coleshill, depending on where you come from. I know that the people around here call it Coleshill, so that's fine. This is Coleshill Road, and we're turning right at the top of the hill into Bucks Hill as well. Again, there's lots of parked cars. Busy area. This is busy area of Nuneaton, really, and it's going to be the next right. Now, I did get the direction correct that time. Only human. Anyway, she's moved into this Bucks Hill, and now we're on our way. Now, this Bucks Hill, you'll notice there's a bus stop here. Very handy bus stop, because it does allow you just to wait for anything oncoming, and it means, because there's always parked cars there, and it does mean that you can make safe progress through here. You don't have to wait every time. She only waited because there's cars oncoming, weren't there? But it's just a handy little place. And I've noticed, well, we've made good use of that in the past with different students and things. So that's brilliant, isn't it? To know that that's there when you turn into Books Hill. You probably have to wait because it is a busy road and it is quite narrow. So it's a nice little bus stop. You're not allowed to park in the bus stop, are you? But you're allowed to wait for oncoming vehicles for a space to appear. So we can use it. Anyway, we're coming down this hill, and we know, don't we, at the bottom of this hill, there's two roundabouts right next to each other, and she's going to follow the road ahead at both of those. And the examiner's just saying that to her now. There's a couple of roundabouts ahead. We're going to follow the road ahead at both of them. And so just for context, this is Books Hill. These two roundabouts, if you turn left here, it's Queen Elizabeth Way, RIP. And if you go straight ahead, you're just going to carry on back towards the test centre here. Just going past one and then another one. Now, I have seen as well in the past where along this little section, this little stretch here, people have been asked to pull in and park on the left and then pull away again. Because it's on a hill and also because it's a busy road. And you know they'll do that from time to time, won't they, where it's a busy road. Although I think they're trying to phase that bit out where it's a busy road and then they'll just get you to pull off. But today they've just gone straight ahead here. Straight ahead, they've just carried on ahead. There's going to be two more mini roundabouts, not as close as the other two, as the previous two, but they're a bit crafty, these mini roundabouts, because the first one is around this next bend, and you don't really see it until quite late. So it's a good idea to know that it's there. And the examiner has said to her as well, there's two more mini roundabouts. You're going to follow the road ahead at both of those. But here it is. We're coming up to this bend here, and it's just here. And actually, cars from the right-hand side, they're sometimes quite busy there. Not today. And the next one is the same. And there's a co-op on the right-hand side. So that's a little bit busier of a junction as well. But as we come down here, the signs are buried in the trees. Can't really see them. This is a white car pulling into the junction, but it's just here. And you're on top of it before you know it. If you didn't know it was there, you could easily miss that one and just career straight through and get it totally wrong. So we're going to follow this road around. Now at the top of this road, there is there's a Y junction, isn't there? There's a Y junction, and she's going to go, first of all, she'll get through this little section, less space, less speed, and she'll do it perfectly. But at the top of this road, there's a Y junction. And today we're going straight ahead at that. But sometimes they do get you to turn right, which brings you onto the Lamb and Flag interchange, as I call it. I don't think anybody else in the world calls it that, but I do. But we're not turning right this time. Today we're going to go straight ahead, and it's going to take us back toward where the test centre is. So as you come to the top of this hill, there's like a bridge. There it is. And then that brings you on to the Y junction. You can see there's big yellow signs there, trying to make them stand out so you can see it, so give way. Must look over your shoulder right now. Look over your shoulder, make sure that it's clear. You're looking for anything coming from the right hand side. She's seen something, hasn't she? Because she's stopped there. And there you go. So that is brilliant. And again, if you didn't know, you could just career straight over. And I've had to dual control quite a few people that I just haven't noticed that. We're back into a 20 zone now, as you can see. And this road has just loads of speed bumps. It goes quite narrow, just loads of speed bumps. And you just have to take your time along here. There's a couple of really nasty ones, actually. One near a yellow shop and one they've just put in. Along here, though, she's going to be asked to turn right. First of all, she's going to be asked to turn right to go into a car park. So she can do a reverse manoeuvre, which in this case will be a forward bay park. First of all, get around this bend where this blue shop is. The next speed bump is just ridiculous. It goes down before it goes up. A real car killer. And it actually made the dashcam jump a bit, and we've come to here. So that's just the dashcam. It just cut out for a few seconds there. Anyway, we've come to here. It's just along the road a little bit, and we now have to turn right into what used to be I think it was called the Cherry Tree Pub car park. So that building in front of us there. And she'll be asked to move around to the right and then drive forward into a parking bay. And he actually said drive forward into a parking bay, finish in between the lines, which is actually done here. Stop the car, didn't overshoot it. And now she's being asked to reverse out of the bay and drive towards the exit. And the exit is the same place where we came in to the car park here. So she's just preparing the car. She's looked, and now she's going to move backwards. Positioning the front of the car so she can drive towards the exit. This is very, very good. Nice slow speed there as well. She's controlling this very, very, very well. Nice slow speed, control, observation and accuracy. They're the three words to remember when you're doing your reversing manoeuvre. And as we come up to the exit, it will say that we're going to turn right onto the main road. And there's a queue here. So she'll wait. It's a busy, busy, busy road. And it looked like they were never going to get out. But let's just see what happens here. So you can see they're all slowing down, queuing up. And the white van has waited. He's left her a space. So what is she going to do? What would you do here? She's moved out. And now she's looking for a space on the opposite side of the road. And then she's moved out again. Did she hold anyone up? No, she didn't, because the white van waited for her and clearly he was letting her out. Did she hold anyone up from the other side? No, because she saw a space. So is that fine? Yes, of course it is. There you go. So, you know, in the textbooks, they won't tell you to do that, will they? You have to use common sense, don't you, sometimes? And that's what's happened there. So very, very good. And we're coming along here. In a few moments, we're going to be turning left back into Vernon's Lane. So we've seen a couple, haven't we? We've seen a couple, faults that stood out to us. One was not using the slip road, and one was the rollback, which, I thought was a little bit, a bit too much. So she's been marked down for that. She had been marked down for that. And now we're turning left back into Vernon's Lane. And we know that this isn't finished, do we? We know when we see that yellow house that we're nearly there. First of all, she's got to get through or past these parked cars. And she's actually pulling up again. There's another little hill start for us to do. This is actually going to be the emergency stop, this bit here. And the dashcam isn't going to like this either. So it won't be the best editing, I promise you. But it's going to be an emergency stop. So on Vernon's Lane, emergency stop. And it's not quiet road, is it, really? There's always cars coming up and down Vernon's Lane. She's just waiting for a space to pull out. And we'll see her move off. And any second now, we'll see her do the stop. But like I say, the dashcam isn't going to like it. So you won't get a very good view of this. There, did you see? Okay, that was it. I'm just glad that it kicked back in. So we could see the end of the test, really. But that was an emergency stop on Vernon's Lane. So there's one thing left to do, is that, well, actually, we've got to get past this parked car. I've got to time our approach to that, which is done perfectly there to make a bigger space. And then we've got to get over the speed bump, and then we've got to get over the roundabout, haven't we? So straight ahead the roundabout, second exit. And this requires you to go quite slow, because on your right hand side it's a bit blind. There is a car waiting to pull out, but they seem to be stopped. And then she's going to just pull in and park on the left here, and that's the end of her test, and it's a pass. Well done, Sarah, well done. First time pass. What a star. So hopefully you found that useful.